We all know the power that comes with reading books, but what's even better is getting to read them for free. Hey guys, it's Yash, and in this video I'm going to show you how I read books for free on my Kindle using the Libby app. I'll be splitting the video up into two parts, the first part being how you set it up, and the second part being the benefits I get from reading books this way. Before we get started, you will need a library card from your local library. Luckily, this is pretty easy to get. Most libraries will allow you to just go online and sign up for one, and once you get your library card, all you need to do is download the Libby app on the App Store or the Google Play Store, and then input your library barcode number that you will see on the back of your card into the Libby app, and that way your library card will be connected in the Libby system. Now once that's set up, you can now browse all the books that your library has to offer within the Libby app. If you find a book that you like, you can choose to download it, or if it's not available to be checked out, Libby will send you a notification once the book is ready to be checked out. And now once you're ready to read the book, you can either read the book within the Libby app, or you can choose to have it be loaned to your Kindle. And once you pick this option, you'll be then taken to an Amazon login screen. You simply put in your login information to your Amazon account, and boom, the Kindle now will have the book automatically loaned to it. And you will have full access to the book for the duration of your period that you've loaned the book for. Now you will have full access to the book for the duration of your loan, so that means you can either highlight it or note take it as much as you want. And all those highlights and notes that you have saved will now be saved to a notebook that you can access at any time. So just because the book expiration date ends doesn't mean your notes and highlights will go with it. Now that it's all set up, I want to take you to the reasons why I like reading books this way. Number one, it's free. This goes without saying, but books can get really expensive, especially if you're someone like me that likes to read all the time. So having the Libby app allows me to read a lot of books for free. Now, I won't be able to find all the books that I'm looking for, but the selection that my library has to offer is more than enough for me, and it's saved me a ton of money by being able to read them through the Libby app. Number two, and this is my favorite feature about reading through the Libby app, is that it forces you to read more books because there's a time limit on how long you have access to the book. I remember back in college when I was watching a Thomas Frank video, he talked about how he used the app Beeminder to help him get up early in the morning. Basically, he had Beeminder set to write a scheduled tweet at around 7 a.m. where he would say that the first 10 people who liked this tweet will get $100. And the only way he could stop that tweet from going live is waking up just in time to stop the scheduling that Beeminder had set up. So it created an incentive program for him to get up early in the morning. Now, obviously that example that I just gave was really extreme, but this relates back to loaning a book, because when you loan a book, you typically only have it for around 2 weeks. So since you only have it for 2 weeks, there's an incentive for you to finish the book because you're not going to have it forever. Because this time crunch is applied to me, this means that instead of passively checking social media or passively watching a TV show, I'm now more inclined to start picking up my Kindle and start finishing that book because I want to make sure I finish it before I have to loan it back out to someone else. Now compare this when you actually buy a book. There is no incentive for you to finish that book on a time crunch. You have all the time in the world, and what ends up happening, at least for me, is that I would open up the book, read a couple pages, and then just have it sit on my desk for a while. And I did this all the time because whenever I would browse through bookstores and start impulse buying books, I had no pressure to finish that book, and what ended up happening was that it would just end up sitting in my bookshelf for years. Finally, the third benefit is that it delays gratification. We live in a society where we are instantly rewarded all the time. From checking our social media for those quick dopamine hits to buying whatever we want whenever we want. We never have any repercussions to our actions. So going through Libby and actually having to wait for the books whenever you want them, it actually makes you stop and think about, do I actually want to read the book? And once the book becomes available, you now start to cherish the book a little bit more and you start to enjoy it, at least for me. One of the books that I recently read was I'm Glad That My Mom Died by Jennette McCurdy. It was a great memoir, and I had to wait around maybe 5 weeks for the book to become available. And once it did, I was so happy to start reading the book, and it almost felt like a little kid when you had to ask your parents for something, and just because they couldn't give it to you right away, you were sitting there waiting, and once you finally got it, you got really happy and all this fuel, like bundle of joy, came to you. Now I hope you found this video helpful and you're on your way to reading more books for free. With love and respect, Yash.